I'm Rebecca Wynn for Devil's Digest here with Christian Sam following Wednesday's practice. So ASU's defense in the first 3 quarters of the game against Utah were a little bit more successful than the final quarter. When you looked back on film, was there any explanation for that?
I just think, we just, when it gets down to the fourth quarter, you have to even put a better focus than you had, the first 3 quarters, because fourth quarter is crunch time, and Utah's a good team. They have a good offense, and, it just requires more focus. I think we played hard. They just, that night they were probably better than us. So I don't want to take anything from them.
So usually a bye week is a great time to step away from the season, kind of refresh. But coming off of a loss, is it hard to just disconnect and kind of get over that?
This bye week is good for us. You go back and you work on the fundamentals, and you get better at the little things. Before you play a good team like Oregon, because Oregon's a good team, and so we're just gonna get back to work, and prepare to beat Oregon.
You're part of a defense that's leading the Pac-12 in tackles and sacks. What do you think has been the reason for such a great success this year?
The hard work that we put in. The hard work that the players on the field on Saturday nights that we play with as a defense. That is a big thing. The scheme helps a lot, but the players. That's huge for the players when you go out there and you play hard.
You're third on the team for tackles and second for sacks. Were you kind of surprised this year by how well you're doing so far?
For the team, I just wanted to help the team, and go out there and play hard, and read your keys, play fast. That was my whole big thing, just go out there and try to help the team and get to where we need to get to. So, I don't really think of that. On the Saturdays, you just go out there and play for the team, for the brother next to you. So.
Well, Oregon's 4-3 this year. It's still a team that the Sun Devils have to prepare for. When watching film, what have you seen from them?
Oregon's a good team. It's still a good team. They just, any given Saturday you can lose. That's been shown this college football year. We believe they're a good team, and we have to stop. They're a good offense, and we have to stop. The running back. He's a big guy. He's physical, and he runs pretty well. He's a good running back, so we have to make sure we stop him. So as usual, stop the run.
Through the first 7 games, ASU has been a bit inconsistent. How can you explain that, and what do you guys need to work on for this upcoming game against Oregon?
Like I said, down the stretch when things, start getting, wearing on you, you just have to have a better focus than you had before. And it looks hard sometimes, but as a team, you just have to dig deeper and find that greater focus.
Great, thank you. And again, for Devil's Digest, I'm Rebecca Wynn here with Christian Sam.